Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to OP Digital Blueprint. I've got my esteemed colleagues with me today. Collins, as usual, and Mike Ellis has joined us. Welcome to you both. And please say hello. And then, Mike, I want you to start us today and give us some background.
Hi, everybody. Collins, say hi.
Hello, everyone.
I always love coming on this program because it really is ad lib. We get to go wherever we want to go, and a lot of times I'm not quite sure where that is, but we'll get there. There's a lot of things going on within Onpassive right now. There has been a lot of things going on within Onpassive the last 3 or 4 months. And I think it's really, really important for people to understand what Onpassive is for them. And you can never take it out of the back of your mind that Onpassive, it is a business and it is a marketing business. So you have a marketing platform within Onpassive to market the products of Onpassive. Now, we all know that Onpassive is going to go to work for us. And if you've been in Onpassive any length of time, if you're an affiliate and you've been engaged, you know what Mr. Mufareh is doing within Onpassive for all of us. And he is doing things that I never thought would ever happen within Onpassive. I never thought Onpassive would get this big, but it is just way, way beyond my wildest dreams. And when you think about Mr. Mufareh, and I'll give you an example. The 7th, Mr. Mufareh came out with a list. He put it in the OES back office, and it was a list of 4 or 5 things. It started out with OConnect. There'll be a new platform for OConnect. It'll be a new improved OConnect. Awesome stuff. The next one was traffic allocation, and then new products will be coming out, and then new announcements and more, which is the Ash bomb, something that Ash hasn't shared with us yet. And most people, and again, this is the marketing of Onpassive. Understand, you have a marketing platform. Any marketing that Mr. Mufareh does for each and every one of us, it's really, really critical for your business. And when you think about that list that I just went over, most people, they looked at that list and the one thing they saw, and the only thing they saw was commissions, right? I'm going to start paying you commissions. And to me, that really was not the essence of what Mr. Mufareh put out there. In fact, it was one of the least important things that was on that list, commissions. I know the commissions are coming. He put that on the list. These things are going to happen in rapid fire form. They're going to be coming to us. They're going to happen. But the most important thing that Ash put out there, and I'll go over the marketing concept behind this one item, was the traffic allocation. Okay. And I've done a little video about this. If you've seen it, you know what I'm going to talk about. If you haven't seen it, it's really, really powerful what Mr. Mufareh has done. And this is the marketing genius behind Ash Mufareh. Traffic allocation. The people in Onpassive, they're really, really smart. They are. And I've talked to tons and tons of them. Sometimes they get a little off course. We bring them back in, but they're really, really smart. And when Mr. Mufareh came out with traffic allocation, anybody who had not paid for OConnect, their ears went up. Because that's what we've all been waiting for. We've been waiting for that traffic allocation. And as the ears went up, they also said to themselves, whoa, wait a minute. I have not bought OConnect. If I do not buy OConnect, I will not get any of that traffic allocation. And what happened? What happened between the 7th and the 14th? And it is still happening today. Literally, the floodgates were open for those individuals, those affiliates who had not bought OConnect. And every day, my organization is growing with those individuals come in and they buy OConnect. What happens when they come in and buy OConnect? It's pretty simple, guys. I make a commission. That's a really, really big deal, but it's bigger than that. What Ash did is and it's a stick and carrot, but it's really, really clever the way he does it. Okay, we're going to start allocating traffic around the 16th. Again, the date does not matter to me, whether it's the 16th, whether it's later this week, whether it's next week, it does not matter. The carrot was put out there. If you come in, you buy OConnect, you're going to benefit from the marketing of Onpassive and Ash Mufareh. what is Ash Mufareh going to do? He's going to start putting individuals, people that have come in, bought OConnect in your organization. As that happens, you make a commission. First one you get is 100% commission, i.e. your business is free now. From there, it's 25%, but it's even bigger than that. As we think about the totality of Onpassive, this is really, really powerful, guys. You guys really need to get this. These individuals coming in and buying OConnect, the ones that haven't bought yet and coming in and buying OConnect, I don't know what the numbers are. They could be 10, 15, 20, 25% more people coming in and buying OConnect. It benefits everybody within Onpassive. And when you think about Onpassive, right now there's a finite amount of money coming in every month. Now that amount will increase. I think it's infinite, but right now it's finite. That finite amount of money, Onpassive has to pay the bills. They have to pay for R&B. They have to have a little bit in the kitty for any emergencies. From there, they pay the commissions of that, and we're talking about one sale. They pay the commissions of that one sale. Right now, it's 25%. But when you add up the expenses of Onpassive and the commission they're paying us, there's still a bundle of money in there, and it's substantial. What's going to happen with that money? And again, the quicker the revenue builds, the more each and every one of us are going to make. What happens to that bundle of money that's sitting there? Well, we know Mr. Mufareh, he has a heart to serve. He wants to take that money and he wants to make you successful. And right now, that's all that's important. Will you be successful with an Onpassive? Yes, you will, because Mr. Mufareh wants to make sure you will be successful. So he's going to take that bundle of money that he has, and he's going to put it into corporate volume. Now, I don't want to say I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm going to tell you I'm not going to go there, because Ash needs to share that with us. And I think I have a pretty good idea how it's going to work. But I can tell you that bundle of money will benefit each and everybody within Onpassive. Now, here's the caveat. This happens every single month. One little stick and carrot, come in, buy OConnect, or miss the allocated traffic. One little carrot, and it exploded. And it really did, guys. Most of you did not see this because your organization isn't big enough. But I saw what happened in my organization, and I know that Onpassive overall, it mirrors what Onpassive does. So I know within Onpassive, it exploded. Now, there are only a few people that can see that. Ash Mufareh is one of them. But what that does for each and every one of us, because of the money that's left over after they pay all the expenses, it is really, really powerful. So when you think about Mr. Mufareh, when he's putting something out there and you think you've got it, you don't. I can guarantee 99% of the people that saw that list on the 7th, all they thought about was commissions. And I know that because they've contacted me. When are they going to pay commissions? Seriously, when are they going to pay commissions? I don't care about that. It's what Mr. Mufareh is doing to develop and build Onpassive far beyond your wildest dreams. That's what's happening right now today. The list that he came out with, the 7th, everything on there is going to happen, but it's going to happen in his time frame, not yours. And the week between the 7th and the 14th, I didn't expect anything to happen there, although a lot of things did happen. Mr. Mufareh came out and he talked about just about each and every one of those items. He really did. And he kind of gave you a little bit more insight into the products and into the traffic allocation, into OConnect, into other products. He really shared a lot over the last 10 days. And this month, a lot of things are going to be happening. Just sit back, chill out, but stay engaged with your business. Understand, always understand, Onpassive is your business. You need to engage in your business. And as we move forward, the three of us, Andy, Collins, and I, and others, will have things that you can do to enhance what Onpassive is doing for you. And they're very, very easy things to do. It's not the time or place right now to go into that, because a few things need to happen within Onpassive for you to be able to take advantage of some of the things we would like you to try. They will improve your business. They will improve your bottom line. They will get you to that place where you just don't worry about finances. This is Onpassive. If you don't wake up excited, just go back and listen to some of what Mr. Mufareh is telling us and really think about it. And when you think about it, you're going to go, oh, yeah, I think I'm in the right place. Absolutely. I'll stop there for now, guys, and let you guys come on in. There's lots more to talk about, but yeah, go ahead, guys.
I shall let Collins follow on from that on his thoughts, but I've got several. Hopefully, I won't forget them by the time he gets around to me. But go ahead, Collins.
Yeah, no, Mike, you just said, what Mike have just done here, you just opened my mind again, because you've just revealed a lot of things. I just wish everyone is listening to this. Like you rightly said, it wasn't about commission, it was about the bigger thing that Mr. Mufareh is doing that will lead to that commission. For the past 7 days, this is what I gathered, and Friday it was the killer on Let's O by Ron. Mr. Ashbrook came there and said a lot of things that really, honestly, up to now, I'm just like getting nightmare of it. He talks about, talking about like cloud computing and domain. He went and explained domain. Domain was the concept of Mr. Mufareh building Onpassive. That was the day I got that explanation. I've been explaining this, but Mr. Mufareh took it to another level. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even see this coming. He talks about, okay, we're talking about domain. We're looking at it in this particular way. Mr. said, when you want to build a good business, where do you start? You need a location. Like any other business, it's not about online business. You need a location. Where is your address? How will people locate you? Now you need to go to that address and then do what? Look for a place. You get the place. Now you start to fill the whether it's a shop, you start to fill it. You rent a place. You start to fill that place with products. When you fill a product, what do you need? You need cash machine, because people will come and buy. They need to collect their products and go. Where would they pay? From there, what will happen? You need customers. The location will bring customers. He said, this is how you think about building a business. Now you want to build an online business. You need a domain, because domain is that location where people will locate you, on the World Wide Web. When you have that location, you need to build a website. This is your domain. Your domain is hosted on a website. A website must be filled with products where you can manage your products, manage your website dynamically. You need to integrate that website with what? With cash register, because if they come, how are they going to pay for the products and services that you are selling online? You need a hosting. You need to host it. Means there is data center now. That's why Mr. Ash talk about cloud computing. You need a data center, because that is where all the data, because everything you are doing, needs data. They are just heavy data. You need a place to host all of those information. And then you need what? You need a webmaster. That is where, I start to realize, I say, wow, when Mr. Ashbrook talk about the world will know your name, it is the domain, and what will happen? He said, it is all done for you, means I'm building a business for you. So he think about building a business for himself. He said, how do I make it replicable so that others can get the same business like Mr. Mufareh? I'm building Onpassive, but I want to replicate Onpassive, where it is not Onpassive for you, but it is Andy's business. It is Collins, it is Mike Ellis, it is Mari Digamo, all of this. But it's the same business where I can manage, but the world is seeing you. I said, oh, Mr. Mufareh, now I got what you are trying to do. It is so massive. When we go to other side, like you go to Amazon, people go to Amazon and say, oh, I'm a reseller. You are what? Promoting Amazon. You are not promoting yourself. You just have a little things where they're just giving you a handout and you are making so much money for Amazon, but you don't know you are doing that. Whether they are 300 million affiliate, whether they are making millions of dollars here or are making, but the truth is you are promoting them to do what? Promoting Amazon or any other business to make hundreds of billions of dollars while you're coming out with peanut. But Mr. Mufareh now replicate Onpassive for you. So you own a business and the business belongs to you, building all of these tools and services so you can manage your business. While they are behind managing for you, yours is just to go and click and play, but you own that business. And I look, I say, okay, I shift one step back. I said, therefore, you are a business partner to Mr. Mufareh because you own a business. He is managing that business underneath you, running all the tools and services and pushing you up, you know, up the search engine. So they are seeing you. The world is knowing you, knowing your name, and your domain name is critical because that is your location, that is your business name. I say, wow, now it is all over. When he talk about the pillar of Onpassive, talking about having a domain, having a cash register, having a data center, you know, having product which is single sign-on. What else? So this is what I took from the past 7 days, and when it came to Oron and break everything down, when he thought about building a business, replicating that business, so 1.7, or those who are coming to participate, they can own a business instead of being under Onpassive, working for Onpassive. You have to work for yourself, having a business that will work for you whilst you sleep. And it is mind-blowing, really mind-blowing. So Andy, I will leave it if you want to add something. It's just
Okay,
giving me sleepless night.
Guys, we've covered an awful lot, but for many of us, many of the founders out there, they still don't get it. So I wanted to kind of take a step back just slightly and explain the concept that Collins has come out with several times now. So Onpassive is going to be selling things for us. They're going to be doing that. But in order for them to be able to do that for us, there's 2 things we have to do. We have to click to become an affiliate in our ecosystem. And then we need to activate and put a product in our online shop. Now, there are still hundreds of founders that don't understand that. How can Onpassive sell something for you if you've not bought it first? It's like stock. You've got to put stock in your shop for your shop to be able to sell it. And the sad thing here, guys, is that we've got 1.4 million founders, early birds, whatever you want to call us, but there's probably only 600,000 that have actually activated their account, because the rest of them have gone, oh, it's not happening, we don't want to know, we've not kept up to date with what's going on, and by the way, we're not putting any more money in. Well, hold on a second. You got your refund back. It's gone into your wallet, so you don't have to pay that extra. So it's kind of like a bit of a wind up. But these guys are the guys that are not engaged. They do not know what's going on, and they haven't kept up with where we are at the coalface. So I want to kind of then go a little bit further forward and look at this traffic system that Mike has explained, because there's far more to it going forward. Because at some point in the future, Onpassive will have in excess, let's just as a figure, by the end of the year, let's say we might have 100 million customers in Onpassive. Right, if we have 100 million customers in Onpassive, we have our own traffic. Companies will come to us and ask us to offer their products to our customer base. And guess what? We have our own domain names, and Onpassive is going to come to us and say, by the way, Nike wants to, as an example, please take that as an example. A large company like Nike, for instance, might come along and say, look, I want to advertise my goods and services to your customers. So Onpassive comes to us and says, by the way, they want to be able to offer their products on your domain. Are you happy for them to do that? By the way, we'll pay you every time someone clicks on that scenario. So this is another form of income, and yet another form of income. So every single product we put in our online shop becomes another income stream. And as I said, I hate to say it, but there's an awful lot of people out there that still don't get this. So how do we get this message across? What do we have to do besides shaking people? Mike, What are your thoughts on that, mate?
No, I mean both what you and Collins have said, very powerful stuff, Andy. How do we wake up those individuals that aren't awake within Onpassive? They're in Onpassive, they're affiliates of Onpassive, but they haven't bought OConnect. I think that's happening right now because of what Ash did, but I also believe as we progress in the next couple of weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and all of a sudden things really start to flow, it's amazing how powerful a testimonial is. So you might have Joe down the street who's been in Onpassive for, I don't know, maybe 3 years and just kind of disengaged. And you've got Susie who's been on Onpassive for maybe 6 months. And all of a sudden, Susie comes in and goes, it's just amazing. I no longer have a car payment because of Onpassive, i.e. she paid off her car. Well, the guy down the street is going to hear that and go, what do you mean you paid off your car? Testimonials. And those are going to be coming out big time pretty soon, big time very, very quickly. As Mr. Mufareh does the traffic allocation, as he starts to distribute the corporate volume to those individuals within Onpassive that have bought OConnect, those testimonials are going to be coming rapid fire. And it's really, really interesting. You're going to have someone that has stayed engaged, been in for 4 or 5 years, and he or she is going to wake up and they're going to have $20,000 in their wallet. That is going to happen, guys. That's absolutely going to happen. And when that happens, you've got the guy over here, and maybe he or she is the most talented person in the world, is very articulate, can come on and do a podcast, or can come on and talk for hours, but just for some reason didn't buy OConnect. And they're going to see this gal over here that didn't do anything, doesn't have any talent, and wakes up with 20 grand in her wallet. He's going to be in a heartbeat, and he's going to pay the $93 for OConnect or whatever it cost at that time. And when that happens, within 30, 60, 90 days, he's going to have a testimonial. Now, when I start to talk about money, I want everybody to understand that Onpassive, I don't want to explain it as a cash cow. It is your business, and over time, your business will provide for you, and you will get to that place where you don't worry about finances. Everybody in Onpassive that engages and participates will get there. Again, that's another thing. When people hear that and they see it, they're going to be in, Andy. They're just going to be in. There's not much we can do for those individuals because they're hard-headed. I mean, you hit them over here with a sledgehammer. They're not coming in until they're ready. And when they're ready, they're going to jump in. They really are. But yeah, when you think about Onpassive, think about time, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, which really in the life of a business is absolutely nothing. Usually in that three-year period, most businesses fail. They just go out of business. Onpassive is going to make you successful in your business because of what Andy just talked about, what Onpassive is going to be doing for you, and then what Collins talked about. What Collins talked about, if you understand what he's saying, should just blow the lid off, literally blow the lid off. He's a technician. He knows what's going on with Onpassive. He knows the products of Onpassive. He knows how powerful they are. He knows how they're going to work. I, on the other hand, I'm a marketer. I look at the market. Okay, what are these products going to do? What kind of market do we have, and what kind of revenue are they going to bring into Onpassive? And if you think about the market that Collins just talked about, one of them is the cloud server, and the amount of individuals that are. I'm not sure when Onpassive is going to offer their cloud server to the world, but today, when you think about the cloud servers, the market out there is about $500 billion. Okay, how much of that market is Onpassive going to take? Onpassive is going to be better than anything out there. It's going to be less expensive. It's going to be seamless. It's going to be hooked up to AI. How much of that market do you think we'll take? 40, 50, 60, 70%? Yeah, I think we could. Remember, everything and this should just blow your mind. Whatever comes into Onpassive goes through those affiliates that are in Onpassive. Everything Every customer goes through the affiliates. And when you start talking about a market that's $500 billion, that's one market, by the way. We have markets that we're in that are bigger than that. Really? Bigger than $500 billion? Yeah. Again, everything goes through us. So when you start to think about the technology of Onpassive, Collins he's the best at it. You're going to understand what it's going to do. Marketing, all you have to do is look at the numbers, how good the products are, and that Onpassive is going to come in with a superior product above market value at a lower price point. It's a done deal. And then everything goes through you. All of this ties in, Andy, to those individuals catching the vision and coming in, paying for OConnect. I don't know how many businesses you can come into, pay $93, and the first sale is 100%. It's free and clear, and then anything after that you make a commission on. People are getting it. They're getting it every single day. I see that in my back office. People coming in and buying OConnect. This thing, it's really, really cool to think about where we are. Yeah, we're in a great place. We really are. And then you start to think about, where are we going to be in 6 months? Has Onpassive gone viral? Just a little bit, just tiny. Wait until everything is smoothed out. Everything's just working like a clock. Wait until that happens, and then you're going to see what viral is. And that's why when I talk about the cloud server, when I talk about 60, 70, 80%, I think we're going to take that business. We're going to shock the world. We're going to shock these individuals that have cloud servers. They're going to, what do we do and how do we compete? And they're going to, we can't. And now you get to see what's going to happen to your business, your bottom line, and how it's going to change your life. Really, really fun stuff right now, guys. Go ahead. I'll turn it back.
I think one of the interesting things I heard that Ash mentioned on one of the webinars was that the likes of Walmart pay obviously approximately 30 million a year to have their websites hosted, which is a considerable sum of money. But to have someone like that, we could host that in our databases for 5 million a year and still make 2.5 million profit. Because and you know, you've Collins will know the exact numbers of companies that offer these cloud services or these database services, but obviously we know the big ones like Amazon, and bear in mind Amazon get 80% of their revenue through Amazon Web Services.
Yep.
Microsoft, Google, and there's another one. Is it called All Star? Yeah, those are the 4 big ones, aren't they? So if you've got a system or a situation where not only have we got the very latest technology, laser technology, but are able to host the entire internet, how many companies do you think are going to move across? If we can fractionalize the cost that they're paying at the moment, I think again one of the points that I picked up on was that with most of these data centers, the servers that hold this information are not exactly up to date, but a relatively small data center has 1,500 staff to run it, whereas we're expecting to have the world's largest data center up and running very shortly. And when that happens, it will take 3 employees to run it, not 1,500. It's a totally different kettle of fish. What again, Collins? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Andy, you just said, when you talk about this by ELLIS, I was just laughing. Like you said, a lot of people, when they think about Amazon, they always think about marketplace. Marketplace is just a tiny fraction of what they are making. Because I remember when Jeff Bezos said something, talk about when they came out with marketplace, a lot of companies started building marketplace. So the competition was too high. Now they think about, okay, what else do we do? Now they decide to build domain. But again, how many domain companies are there? Competition. But when they move into data center, there was less competition because you need to put a lot of money to build. At that time, to build a data center wasn't so easy. But now there was less competition. As you said, most of their revenue is coming from data center because the cheapest company, only company can host their data. You need to buy a hosting position from Amazon or Microsoft or Google. But again, anywhere you go, they'll milk you because it's millions, tens of millions. And data is like meter. The more data you store, the more money they will charge you. But now Onpassive look at it and say, what if we come with a better data center, AI cloud? I remember Jay Bezos is talking now about AI infinity, but we are already in AI. Now they are thinking of building a data center with AI infinity. He spoke about it last time. Those who are interested in technology, go and listen to it. And I said, wow, you are thinking, and it will take you 5 years to do that or more. We already have AI cloud. And if you think about AI, you remember last time Dr. Tarek talked about it. You look about, we're talking about big data, talking about data mining and data modeling. This is about helping business. When you mine their data, it means you select and filter useful data that are good for businesses, where business can use it and optimize whatever, their profit and stuff. So you are already doing that job for them. And data modeling is about comparing big data and say, this is good for you. This is really good. The system can do that. Our data center can do all of this job. Where do you think they will go? They'll come to Onpassive. One is AI driven, is automated, and all of those type of things. Now I look at domain again. A lot of people, when they look, I say, okay, we have domain. Oh, all of us, happy days. But think about you being a domain provider. Not only you having a domain name, but now you become a domain provider. That is another stream of income coming. One product. Now you are like, we talk about GoDaddy, and besides I said, what about Go Mommy? We are the Go Mommy, not GoDaddy. So when you start to think about all of these things, that you have one product, the moment you turn your eye, you said, oh my God, this is it coming. You are a domain provider, not only owning a domain, having a domain, you are a domain provider. Yeah. Look at the cost of domain. I remember my ELLIS team, Mari Dugamo, talk about this. They went to check if they can get a domain for Onpassive 360. They say, oh, let's just go and check.
Millions, wasn't it?
It was 75 million to get it.
Yeah. It was a little above our budget.
Yeah. So Mike, give us a little bit more. I mean, Ash has talked about this the other day on Ron's Friday Live, but a lot of people miss that, and there are quite a few on this evening that again might like to get an opinion or an understanding as to what this real estate for us actually means.
Yeah, no, very, very important. Collins just went over quite a bit of it, and again, it just blows your mind when you listen to Collins. The domain names, they're a really, really big deal. And when you think about getting a domain for yourself, which everybody in Onpassive, all the affiliates in Onpassive will do, you will do that. That's one of the things you have to do. Again, it's one of those. Onpassive is going to manage your business. Onpassive is going to bring in traffic. Onpassive is going to do a lot of things, but you have to get a domain name. And when you do that, you have, say, 1.4 million domain names out there. But it's not just 1.4 million pages. It's way, way more than that. And when you start to add up everything that Onpassive is going to do for you, all of a sudden it's not 1 million or 2 million. It's 100 million. It's 200 million. It's 500 million pages out there. That property, that address, it's ours. It's Onpassive's, because we are Onpassive. And when you start to get that kind of volume out on the internet, it's just really, really hard for people to come on the internet and not see Onpassive. That's what all of this does. That's what Mr. Mufareh's vision is to have so much content out there with the addresses owned by those individuals within Onpassive, branding each and every one of us, that as people come online, it's almost impossible not to see Onpassive. Now, domain, let me talk about that just for a second. And Collins just said it. Understand, when you get a domain name, you're not only getting a domain name, As Colin said, you're getting another stream of revenue. How often does that work with any other company? Really? So people can come into your shop, they see domain names. They go, well, I wonder how much that cost. It's going to be less than anybody out there. Well, I think I want to go with these guys. And then they tell everybody in their universe, oh, no, this is where I got my domain. It's great. And you know something else? This is what happened when I got my domain name. They gave me hosting for free. That doesn't happen anywhere else, guys. That does not happen in any other domain arena in the world. This is, again, think about what Mr. Mufareh is doing. Think about the marketing of Mr. Mufareh. Think about the mind of Mr. Mufareh. He guaranteed your success. Here's a domain, it costs less, and we give you hosting for free. What, really? I'm in. And the domain right now, the domain name, that niche, the revenue that comes in annually is about $2 billion. That's nothing to sneeze at. That's a significant amount of income. Although when you look at some of the other niches we're in, it's absolutely nothing. But it's not. It's major, because you start taking these domains that have $1 billion here, $2 billion here, $5 billion here, $6 billion here. All of a sudden, you're up to 100 billion. All of a sudden, you're 200 billion. And then you get one with $500 billion. Then you get one with $1 trillion. All that stuff's coming in to us, coming through our businesses. This is just absolutely massive. I'll hit one more thing. This should just blow your mind. Absolutely blow your mind. Very briefly, Mr. Mufareh talked about his credit card, how he's going to release it in India so that the Indian people, he can load their cards with the money. They can put the money on their card, and then they can go out and spend it. Okay. This is a major, major deal. He is going to test the credit cards in India, but in time, in my opinion, it's going to come to your neck of the woods, and you're going to be able to get a credit card. You're going to be able to load it with the funds that are in your wallet. You're going to have a credit card. You can go out and you can buy whatever you want. You can get cash. You can do whatever you want. Understand that today, right now, there's about 1.86 billion charges on a credit card daily. Okay. Not only do you get the credit card, it's just like the domain. All of a sudden, you are in the credit card business. And when people come into your shop, they see you have a credit card. It has a 0 rate. And if you do certain things, yeah, you can load it from here and go and spend it. Well, how many people are going to come in and go, yeah, that's the kind of credit card I want. I don't want to be paying all these fees. I don't want to be going into debt. I don't want to have to pay $200, $300, $400 in the credit card debt that I have. And I know a lot of people that pay anywhere from $200 to $5,000 a month on credit card debt. It's massive. And again, that's part of the debt servitude that the world has put us into. And Mr. Mufareh is coming, again, this is the marketing, guys. It is genius. He's coming in and he's getting us out of that bondage. Credit card, it's a big, big deal. It's coming to your neck of the woods. It is a massive, massive industry, 1.8 billion transactions daily. And that the revenue that comes in with those credit cards, it's about $2 billion a year. Again, 2 billion here, 2 billion here, 2 billion here, everything coming through us. What's that going to do for your business? What's that going to do for your bottom line? How are you going to feel in 4 months, 6 months, a year? How are you going to be feeling? I think you're going to be feeling really, really good. Again, we get back to Andy. Have you caught the vision yet? Do you understand what's going on? If you do, come in, pay the $93, get that. And by the way, that first sale is coming with the traffic allocation. And that's going to happen any day now. So really, go ahead, guys. I mean, there's a lot more, but go ahead.
So yeah, we do have a lot more. Absolutely. Again, Collins, Mike has just explained about the credit cards, and this is huge, not only for India, but also for places in Africa, because obviously you've got this currency issue. But if you've got a credit card that's loaded up with dollars, what does this mean for guys in Africa?
See, it will really change the continent, because that is, the banks are really headache, especially when it comes to Cameroon. The banks are really headache. You ask how many people are really banking. You know, when you talk about now in Onpassive, sometimes you advise them, they tell you, no, the charges that they are getting, you know, you get a bank card, you're not putting any money, but they are charging you. I remember last time Vincent said same thing with Ivory Coast. You have a bank and you're not doing anything. By the time you know you are in zero, and then you realize you are owing the bank. So this is really a big deal for Africa, you know, because all of them, even the young people, whoever will want to get a hand on the Onpassive card, because they know, one, it is really affordable, you know, because we know who Mr. Mufareh is. We want to give something that, because he doesn't want you to be in debt. He still wants you to make wealth for yourself and your generation to come. Yep. So this is a big deal, honestly. It will flip the continent upside down, because I don't see anybody, maybe some of the banks that will be shaking, said, what is happening here? And it will help them to change their way.
I think we're all going to see a change in the banking system over the course of the next couple of years, without a shadow of a doubt, because all of these banks have been charging, you know, fees for nothing. And also, when you transfer money, there's this delay, and they play with it in the background, which is going to stop. And having a charge card with your commission on this charge card means that they don't get access to it. They don't get to play with it. It is in your card. Now, I am not suggesting for anyone out there that it's not good to have a bank account. I am saying you do need a bank account because it makes life easier.
Yeah.
All right. But the charge cards are going to be, for us, phenomenal, because let's put it this way. You know, a lot of the cards these days you get with banks give you this incentive. You know, you spend this amount and we'll give you a cash back. Okay. Now, when you've got a credit card system that says, actually, we're going to allow you to use your credit card, and we're going to charge you a very small fee to make sure that you use that credit card, but everything you've got goes onto that credit card. Now, these also give everybody commissions, because the number of transactions, as Mike said, 1.8 billion. Was it a day, Mike?
It's a day.
Yeah, it is just phenomenal. So all of these different things add up to different income streams. And again, people just don't understand this. The number of income streams that we will have within Onpassive before the end of the year could be 50, 60. We don't know, because there's a possibility that we can have physical products. There's credit cards. There's all of the products that we know about or have heard about within Onpassive. But even now, Ash has come up with some extras that we don't know about. So, you know, well, where do you think this is going to go then, Mike? What's the next step for us?
I don't think there is a top, Andy Collins. I don't think there's a top right now. You know, Mr. Mufareh is going to come out with an ash bomb. I don't know what that is, but it's not the product that he's talked about very, very briefly, AI IT product that will come out and everybody in the world will use. I don't believe it's that. So we got that and that. I don't think there is a top to it. Yeah, this is just a really, really fun time. I do want to talk about attitudes out there, just very quickly, because this affects me too. And it's important for everybody to understand where we are and your responsibility. Okay? Onpassive today, they do not owe me a living. That's not in their preview. It's my responsibility to take care of my lifestyle while we're waiting for all of this to come out. And again, I believe this is going to be happening in days and weeks. This is going to be happening very, very quickly. But here's what happened to me 1st of January. Money ran out. I think we've all been there one time or another. And I knew that Onpassive in January was going to be massive. Things were going to be happening. But I will not go into debt. I refuse to go into debt, neither be a lender or a borrower. That's just the way I think. And I just went out and said, well, okay, I know things are going to be happening, but I need money now. I went out and I got a job. Now, because of the skill sets I've developed over the years, it's not hard for me to do that. It is not online. It is not an online business. It is not online marketing. I will never do anything online, and I could, but on passive. So I went out, found work, money's coming in, and I had to make a commitment until probably the end of April. Now, the end of April, people are going to be laughing at me that I'm working. What are you doing? They're literally going to be laughing at me. I think they would be laughing at you too. But you do what you need to do until Mr. Mufareh introduces all of these things. And again, I think it's going to happen this month, guys. I think the cash is going to start to flow. I think the products are going to be coming out. I think the traffic allocation is going to be happening. I think a lot of things are going to be happening this month. And then when we get into February, March, April, I think it's just going to increase exponentially. But when you think about Onpassive, you think about your life, take responsibility for your lifestyle today. Onpassive does not owe you the ability to take care of you until everything unrolls. That's your responsibility. And if you have to go out and get a job, go get a job. I'm an old bastard. I can still work, and I don't have. And the thing about work, I enjoy working. Now, that doesn't exclude anything that I do within Onpassive. I can do what I'm doing now, and I can still do everything I do within Onpassive. That will never change. And if that weren't the case, then I'd find something else. But my time is my own. I can kind of make my own schedule. But when I'm working for someone else, I give them 100%. I give them 100% quality work. Everything I do the best I can, and I know that it's short term. I'm going to see it way before I stop working, which is probably the end of April. But I wanted to put that out there. And the reason I say that, guys, is I get these emails, and these people are so serious. They're going to tell Ash Mufareh what he needs to do. And I just write back a happy face, and I go on. It's just silly. Mr. Mufareh, he's getting it done. He's getting it done every day, and he's getting it done quicker. And the next few months, hang on. It's going to be a wild ride, but it's going to be fun. Ahead,
absolutely, guys. Absolutely. And Mike, I'm with you. You do whatever it. We all know here that this is our future, but it's the now that has to be dealt with. So we do whatever it takes to make sure that we've covered everything that we need to cover, and to have made sure we've got sufficient in our account to be able to activate it. And
Yep.
Believe me, I'm a financial advisor. I have been for 35 years, but I've been doing painting, decorating, labouring, whatever it takes to make sure I've got enough coming in. And believe me, at my age, labouring is not good. So,
it's a little tougher, but you're still in good shape, Andy.
I'd like to think so, but the beer belly's getting bigger. But there you go. So, Collins, final comments. What would you like to add?
I agree with what Mike said, and that would have been my final comment. That though Mr. Ash Mufareh is doing all of this on our behalf, to bring us that time and financial freedom, we must play our part. We can't fold our arms and say, because we cannot squeeze technology. Technology works, based on time. They develop it, they test it, they make sure everything is working nicely and smoothly. Because what's the point putting something out in the market and then you turn around and look at it and say, why it's not good? And no one even want to look at it and say, what's the point? I can't even go there because I know this person here has similar thing and it's better than yours. So we should understand that, like what Mike said, all of us have been getting this email. Some people are becoming frustrated. I say, you know what, Mr. Ash doesn't owe us anything. Sometimes people say apology. He doesn't owe us any apology. In technology, we just have to be grateful that we have a CEO, of a kind like Mr. Ash Mufareh, who will come out, sit with us, tell us the good side and the bad side, and even tell us things that he shouldn't, he's not even obliged to tell us all of those things. you know, and I'm so grateful now that, you know, some of these things now, they're just keeping it within the company, within the organization. And when it's ready, they come and say, wow, there's a new thing, like the way they announce data center and domain. That is how I really like it, because he doesn't owe us nothing. We just need to move on with our lives and wait for this Onpassive to ready. As Mike said, it's coming, it's coming. It's not a matter of months again. It's just like days, you know, and weeks. It will be here. But let us try to do our part. Me, I've been working 20. Some people think like maybe I work for Onpassive. No, I work every day, but I'm here talking 24/7, you know, just because I want to pass out that information. What I know, I want to share it with others. But again, we should play our part. And when you wait, I know there are people who said, they told me, I said, how much do you know about Onpassive? Look yourself in the mirror and tell me, how much do you know about Onpassive? He said, I don't need to know. I just want to see the money and I'll learn later on. I said, then you will never know anything. You will never. When I see the money, I will learn. Then who will be there to teach you? You know, Onpassive is massive. So we need to take our time and learn it, understand it. And every delay, I always say there is no delay in Onpassive. But when you think there is a delay, take that delay as an opportunity to learn. Take it as an opportunity to activate your account, you know, and this will push you further, because the more you understand Onpassive, the more you will grow. Every bit of Onpassive is a gold mine. It depends on your knowledge of extraction. You know, you must understand every bit. If you want to grow, you must understand every bit. It is not rocket science. It's so easy. So I will leave it there.
Excellent. Thanks, Collins. Any final comment, Mike?
Yeah, just to end on a very, very positive note. Everybody in Onpassive, the affiliates in Onpassive, customers in Onpassive, we are coming into clear sky. Okay, everything is clearing up. Everything is starting to roll. Everything is getting smoother and smoother, smoother. The clear skies are right in front of us. Just hang in there. Get ready. Everything's going to change, including your life. And everything we've said today, go back and this is probably one of the best webinars I've been on. Go back and listen to this webinar. Listen to Andy, listen to Collins, listen to some of the things I've said. And you're going to understand where you are, what's happening, and how you're going to be in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months. It's going to be a good place. Andy, that's it. Take it away.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you guys for joining us today. The only passing comment I have would be baby steps. Everybody take a baby step every day to learn something new about Onpassive. And believe me, in a very short period of time, you become an expert. And when you become an expert, you can use this to the fullest degree. And when you do that, the world is your oyster. So thank you again for joining us. And join us again next Tuesday when we'll come back and have another giggle. Thanks, guys.